World to stop hating. Can't find a good reason. Can't find hope to believe in.
Back on the Val Emmons Show. Here in a moment, we're going to be joined by Americans for Prosperity Arkansas's Executive Director, Jason Cline. And he has some stuff to talk about. Actually, I think that's him calling in now. Hang on just a second. We'll get him on. But that was Monica Farrow, and she is fantastic. Hopefully we'll have her on in the near future to give us updates from the Hill on the budget. But right now we have Jason on the phone. Hey, Jason, how are you?
Doing well. How are you, Val?
I'm fantastic. You have some good news for us.
We always have good news.
Of course.
But we're especially excited to announce an event that we're having, not this coming Monday, but the following. And we've got quite the lineup. We're excited. Dana Perino, who was George W. Bush's press secretary.
Yes.
As well as Penny Nance, who is the CEO of Concerned Women for America. So it's going to be a great lineup.
I already got my tickets. So can you tell everyone where to go to register for the event?
AFP-Arkansas.com is where you're going to want to go to register. Sorry,
That's okay.
I just stepped out of my car. There's probably a little wind background. But, yes, AFP-Arkansas.com. You can get tickets to the Eventbrite page. And
how much are those?
They're free, completely free.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, you're getting an opportunity to see Dana Perino, who, was in the White House press secretary, served under the Bush administration. She's on the top-rated Fox News channel, The 5.
Yes.
That program. She's going to be a great speaker. I spoke with her yesterday. We had a great conversation. She is a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun things planned for this event. So, AFPArkansas.com. It's Monday, October 14th, and it's going to be a really exciting breakdown of health issues facing your family in Arkansas.
Yeah, I was especially excited when I saw that what she was going to bring a presentation on. So, yeah. Yeah,
well, the biggest thing that we're looking at is insurance rates were released last week.
Yeah, ridiculous.
We're seeing, for 27-year-old women on the exchange, it's 114% increases. For 40-year-old women, 138% increases. You sort of throw that in with the fact that men are seeing above 200% increases on these exchanges, and you just take a look at what that's going to do to a family budget, and you just can't believe it's a good thing. There's no way that it is.
There's no way. I looked at mine, my insurance through my employer, and that's the whole reason we have the exchanges, is to make insurance cheaper for those who can't get it, who those who don't get it through their employer. It was to make a place where we could go to get it cheaper. But it was $600 more for me and my children on the exchange than it would have been through my employer.
Yeah, and of course, what they're going to try and tell you is, you can get a premium subsidy.
I can't. I don't qualify.
Right, exactly. So what we're talking about...
And I'm middle class.
Exactly. And that's what we're calling, and it's not just the higher premiums, but it's also a smaller paycheck to cover the fact that you have 21 new taxes in Obamacare to make sure that other people who are getting a subsidy, which is, if they're low income, they need help, we can find other solutions to that problem. But the simple fact is, for middle class folks like yourself, higher premiums and a smaller paycheck is not the recipe for anything affordable, regardless of what the bill says.
Or a healthy, prosperable America.
Exactly. And, and that's the case of all of it, is that, we can argue over, capitalism and healthcare and all these things, but if we can't afford to pay our bills, we can't afford health care either. That's just a simple thing.
I know. And here's the thing. Okay, so you have here's the thing that really gets me, Jason. And you have they want you to, you'll have a premium. Yeah, okay, but you have to pay for that, all right? Then, you have a little card saying you can get insurance when you need, or you see a doctor when you need it at a discount, but you don't have groceries,
Well, yeah, and that's the question is, first off, what's the access to care going to look like? Right. Are we going to continue to recruit and train, some of the smartest folks in America to provide health care for us?
I doubt it. They're already skipping out on us.
Well, and the big story there that folks can really think about, we throw around these percentage increases all the time. Think about this concept of, you're a woman, 130% increase in price next year. Imagine if that was your grocery bill.
Right.
What would you do if a gallon of milk jumped 138% overnight for no other reason than because the government now calls it affordable?
Yeah. Isn't that ironic? Or it's more like an oxymoron.
Yeah, it really is. Well, and, anytime, I guess one of my favorite quotes on healthcare was P.J. O'Rourke, and he said, if you think government, if you think healthcare is expensive now, wait till you see what it costs when it's free.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nothing could be more true. And within the Affordable Care Act, of course, outside of the fact that you have technical glitches and problems, people getting signed up, I mean, what you're going to see is a lower quality product at a higher price, all in the name of getting the government in the middle of all of it.
I was happy to see that the our legislator voted not to fund the ad dollars.
Right.
But then Governor Beebe says that he's going to look at it and then he might go ahead with it. So that's just ridiculous. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So on Monday, the Joint Legislative Council, which is a makeup of sort of a mix of Democrats and Republicans, they meet in the off legislative session to make sure that the business of the state is being handled. What they had was the opportunity to review a grant that was already approved for $4.5 million for Obamacare advertising, which is on top of the $4.3 that they've already spent. So the joint legislature actually decided to, they don't have the ability there's not a binding ability to say no to the dollars. So it's kind of it's a non-binding vote technically. The governor could have still spent the money, and so as of last week, the governor said he won't pursue the contract. So that's good news.
Okay.
It's good news that it was a bipartisan vote in the legislature. The governor agreed with the will of the legislature. So overall, we saw that as a huge win. $4.5 million tax dollars not going to be spent to spend promoting Obamacare in Arkansas, a bill that nearly 80% of our Kansans disagree with.
Yeah, I'm okay. I didn't hear that part yet. I guess I can't know everything. So, that's why we have Jason.
We're happy the governor did. He as he should respect the will of the legislature, which is the will of the people. So that was a huge benefit to us. It was a huge win. We're happy to have played a part in that. We should also be thanking all the legislators who voted. For some fiscal sanity in this state,
right?
Which is a very good thing.
And so so move over to another topic. I picked up one of these little flyers, the Health Connector flyers, and it's in Spanish, and it has a gentleman's name with his phone number, with his contact information, and it's a Hispanic name. And so are we paying to go out to reach out to people in this manner and letting them use these pamphlets as their cards?
Right. Well, so this was part of the overall strategy. So what was happening was there was I believe between a $9 and $11 million grant that was, basically there for outreach. And how it works is that they have given federal grants to a number of organizations. Nationally, you saw Planned Parenthood was agreed. State dollars won't be set up in Arkansas, but the university system, some social organizations who are the library system, for example, they're called Navigator organizations. So they've been given a grant as a place in the community that people can show up and get help signing up for health care. That was one phase of it. The ad campaign was another phase, and then what you're finding there, the Spanish-spoken one, was a part of the nearly 600-member Navigator program in Arkansas. So what does that mean? It means we have 600 taxpayer-funded government employees whose job is to help facilitate enrollment of Obamacare.
Yeah.
And that was done through a federal grant. We killed the state match that would have hired an additional 100. So, we were happy to, again, work with legislators on that. But overall, you're still seeing, and that, like you said, the Spanish-spoken guy, he's either a member of a Navigator organization or he's a Navigator himself.
Well, I called the number, but no one called me back yet. So
interesting. Well,
I'm always everyone's the people that were.
Exactly.
What are you going to say to him? I'm like, I don't know. I'll just take it from the cuff like I always do.
Exactly right. Well, and the big thing is they testified during this legislative council that they depleted $4.3 million pretty quickly. And when they run out of materials, they'll have to distribute them electronically because they're going to be out of these things. So thankfully,
but how much was that again that they spent on these materials?
They've spent on total. You've probably heard the Pandora ads,
right.
on Facebook.
Oh, YouTube is ridiculous on YouTube.
Exactly. So they spent $4.3 million over a couple months, and they on September 30th asked for
another
$4.5 million, which would have taken them through open enrollment period, which is in April. So we were glad to see, again, the legislators say no to that because what we see as pretty minimal engagement and a pretty huge waste of money. We ran an ad, stopped the ads, and what we said was very simple was, if this thing's so great, people are going to be busting through the doors to sign up for this thing, why do we need to dump nearly $10 million to promote this thing. It's just crazy. The governor's race probably won't spend $10 million. And so that was our position is, and we had some of the legislators gripe a little bit, mentioning that it was they were non-political ads, and for the most part they were pretty non-political. But the fact remains that I think that they were there and served the purpose of softening the image of Obamacare for Arkansans, which helps those who have supported it in the past. And so we were happy to help kill those things.
Well, we appreciate your work on that, Jason, and we're going to have to get to our news right now, but we will have you back on next month for an update maybe, or sooner if something else comes up.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Val.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye. And we'll be right back.
79 degrees in Little Rock at 4:30.